Morning everyone. It's just another wet, rainy day around here. Just heading out here to check on these orphan calves and see how they're doing. So we started weaning Pepper off the bottle and she's not very happy about it. All I've done is I've just cut her feedings back to just once a day. Just want to show you guys how our little intensive grazing experiment's going. So I've been moving these panels at different lengths of time just to see how much they're eating down. So this spot right here, this is the first spot that we had them in. I think I had them in here maybe 36 hours. I think this is about right. I feel like this is about what you want to see. So we moved them off this spot 5 days ago. And you can already see how much the grass is starting to grow back. You know, the lighter shades of green there. And this spot here, I'm sure you can tell how much more eaten down this one is. So I kept them here just over 2 full days on this spot, and I think they went a little bit too far on this one here. I don't know how well you can see the difference, but there's pretty much the line right there. So this was 2 days right here, and that one there was just a little over 36 hours or so. And the same with these last 2 spots here. This one was probably just about 24 hours, I believe. And you see how much they left on this spot. And the same with this spot right here. That was also about 24 hours. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how this grows back in like these different spots and see which one grows back better and faster. It's like I was saying, I've never done this before, this intensive grazing, and just wanted to give it a little try with these calves and see what we thought of it. My understanding from a little bit of research that I've done is they say take half and leave half. So looking at these couple spots here, I'd say we're pretty close to letting them graze down about half of it and leaving the other half for regrowth. So this spot they're in right now, they've only been in here about 12 hours. So I'll move them this afternoon. I'm sorry, I don't have a bottle for you. I'm sorry, buddy. So we'll just keep trying this out and see how it turns out. But for the most part, I feel like we're on the right track. So we sure have been wet the last couple weeks, as you can see in all these puddles along the road here. Seems about like every day we have an afternoon shower or a morning shower, but things are extremely green. The grass is growing really nice, and all we need now is some heat. We really haven't even gotten much past the 70s all summer or all spring, whatever you want to call this season. So once we get some heat and all this moisture we've gotten, things should sure pop. Just to give you an idea how tall some of this grass has gotten, you know, it's almost waist high on me right here in some of these spots. And just to think, we had snow on the ground a little over a month ago. The level of sloughs came down a lot too. If you remember in a couple of those previous videos, we had water all the way up around this pump shed there. So it's dropped a good foot and a half. And it's going through the culverts nice and easy now. So we're on our way to some pretty nice looking crops, we hope. I need to get these calves a little makeshift shelter built, just so they can get under something when it's raining and have shade if it ever warms up around here. You dogs sick of the rain yet? Look at this mess out here. And of course today's the day I want to do some fencing. So I got myself a little whiteboard so I just keep a visual of my to-do list. I organized it into 2 separate columns. So I got things here in red that are pressing that need to get done, you know, as soon as I can. And I got things over here in the black that aren't quite as pressing. So I can start marking off some of this stuff. We're down the electric fence, branded and vaccinated our cows and calves. This is what I wanted to work on today, is just tearing out the fence so we can put in that elk fence. This fencing stuff, mostly, I've got pretty much all this fencing done. And most of our fields have been worked, so I can erase these ones. But tearing out that fence so we can drive in those posts for the elk fence is kind of the next one on my list that I need to get done. And that's what I was planning on doing today. So I guess I just need to prepare myself for getting wet today. When I was younger, I spent 2 years living and working outside up in Alaska. So you had to learn how to work in the rain up there, or else you'd never get anything done. It rained all the time up there. Constantly, it seemed like. So I'll run around real quick and I'll show you what our plan is for this elk fence. So here's my plan for this elk fence that we are going to put in. So here's our hay shed, and all these then here next to the hay shed where all these bags are still on the ground, this is where we were storing all of our outside hay. So I still need to clean up all these bags, just haven't got to it yet. But we want to fence off this whole area with that elk fence. So starting right here by the road, we have this fence that runs right along the road. It goes right behind these trees. So this is the fence that I need to tear out. So this fence just borders the road along this field here and goes up to this old creamery. Then it goes down this way, then ties in with our corrals right there in front of the Quonset. Then we have the entrance that gets over here into our stack yard. So we're going to tie it right into the corrals right in front of the Quonset. So I need to rip out this section of fence because we're going to replace it with them taller posts and all that net wire for the elk. So we're going to bring that fence down this way. It's about right here is where I'm thinking. Then we're going to head straight west, just on the other side of the wagons and the side-by-side. And up here we have an electric fence that we keep up that keeps my dad's cows from getting into our stack yard here. So I'm going to tear down that electric fence also. So here's that electric fence, and right up there is that fence along the road that I was just pointing out. So we're gonna bring the elk fence straight this way and pretty much put it in here where this electric fence is. And I'm gonna go straight south with it. Then over here in this corner, I'll drive over there real quick. We have a old manure pit from when it used to be the dairy. And we're gonna tie that fence into that corner. So this is the manure pit I'm talking about. And if you look through here, right above these wheel line pieces, you can see the hay shed right there. And over there, that's just the corner that we were just at. So if you can imagine, here's the hay shed. That fence that runs along the road is going to go right through here. We'll go just to that side of the hay shed. We'll come across that field there, bring the elk fence this way and tie it right into this area here. And I'm not exactly sure what we'll do here. I might be able to just weld some extensions on top of these metal I-beams here, and we can run some fence up on top of this manure pit. So that's the rough plan right now. We keep joking that we're going to do all this work and the elk aren't going to show back up next winter. But sure enough, if we don't do it, they will show up and we'll have the same problem as what we did this last winter. So when I'm rolling up barbed wire, all I'm doing is just zigzagging that wire from one side of the spool to the other. And that way, them barbs on the wire pretty much hold the rest of the wire in place, so you don't have that all that wire trying to accordion out. So once I get all this wire taken down and rolled up, we'll come back through with the tractor or the backhoe and use a chain and pull out all these posts that are in the ground. We'll probably go burn most of them. We might save some of the ones that are in better shape to use for another day. I was gonna grab that backhoe with the chain and pull these posts out with, but the ground's so soft and moist that I'm able to pull out a lot of these by hand. A lot of these posts are pretty rotten. Like this one here, didn't have much life left in them. So I was able to pull out a good amount of these posts just by hand. So I've only got maybe 10 posts. I need to go grab the backhoe and pull them out with it. Some of this old sheep wire is giving me a hard time. It's sunk so far down in the ground that I can't pull it up by hand. Luckily I've only got maybe, I don't know, 30 feet, 40 feet stretch of it. We're about done. Gonna take some of these posts that are still in decent shape, and I'm gonna stick them over there with a good post, and all these rotten ones that I don't want to keep, I'm gonna go throw them in our burn pile. We can burn them up here in a couple weeks. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. Have a good day.